Welcome everyone to Jumbled Dreams' podcast, Let's Talk Dreams. Have you ever wanted to make a difference but did not know where to begin? Have you ever wanted to volunteer but you are nervous? Well, this is the place for you. Let's Talk Dreams is all about sharing stories of those making a difference in our communities, nations, and world. This is a project started because Jumbled Dreams wants you to know that no matter who you are, you can make a change. Today, for episode 6, we are excited to welcome Sidonia Cannon. Sidonia Cannon is a student at George Mason University studying global affairs and nonprofit management. She has been a founding member and a leader of 2 student-run nonprofits and has interned for many more. Her dream is working in development for an international nonprofit and changing the world for the better. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me, Sydney. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see you again.
I know, it's been a while. So what got you started in helping others?
Well, in high school, I guess, was the first nonprofit I joined, Threads of Care. I've always helped others, I guess, volunteering with my mom as like a kid doing like Operation Support Our Troops and whatnot. But like the biggest one was in high school, helping with Threads of Care, which was a student-run nonprofit helping clothing drives in schools and then giving them out to different places in the community. And so my best friend, Zach Olson, actually asked me to help, and I was like, thinking about it and decided, yeah, I'll do this. And then that was like a monumental decision. And then everything kept going from there.
Yeah, and that's how we met, was through Zach. And Zach and I ended up becoming really good friends too. So it's all connected. Tell us more about the organizations you've started now. Like, what's been up with you? What's been going on?
So Threads of Care is just a high school-based organization. So once Zach and I graduated, it was designed to continue staying. So it's still going on right now. They just had their last clothing drive. Sydney, you're involved in Threads of Care, right? At Ravenwood. Yes. How's that going?
We're good. See, we do it a little bit different is we close all year and then just put the numbers towards the drive. So we've had it all year long. So they're doing really well this year.
Yeah. And so I graduated in 2019. And then the next summer, 2020, when everyone was at home with nothing to do, my friends and I started a nonprofit, Students Against Child Marriage. And that was also an entirely student-run organization. And did you know, Cindy, that child marriage is legal in the United States?
I did not.
Yeah. So it's legal in 44 states. It used to be legal in 46 this past summer too. I think New Jersey and New York changed their laws. So we started that in 2020, and it was just incredible getting to meet all the different survivors and people with other organizations working to help end child marriage as well. And then I've interned with a couple more, Tahari Justice Center, Survivors Corner. I just finished with Thistle Farms in Nashville, and they're all great. I'm just loving it so much.
What made you start your nonprofit, like in 2020? Like where did the idea come from?
So the founder actually read an article about child marriage in New York. And then there was this organization, Unchained at Last. And they are really big advocates for changing laws and everything. But he saw that there was a need for student advocacy, that student advocacy could really fill in like student activism. And that like became a big part to capitalize on students who not necessarily had a lot of money to give, but a lot of time and connections and could lobby. And so that got started. And then I actually was a part of the development team, so fundraising. And then Giving Tuesday was like our big event we're going towards. And my development team was just so amazing. I love them so much. We just blew it out of the water. We had no idea how much we wanted to raise. It was just like a 5-month-old student organization. And we ended up raising like over $11,000, which was crazy. Wow. Yeah, our goal was like maybe, we were like, I don't know, maybe 1,000, maybe 5,000, like 11. Wow. And I mean, that all went back to advocating. And then we saw the results of it the summer after. So once Students Against Child Marriage was like a year old, New York and New Jersey passed laws setting the age at 18, no exceptions.
That's amazing. So what are you guys working on currently?
So I left Students Against Child Marriage in March of last year. So it's been a year, and I went to different like partner organizations. So I went to Survivors Corner, which Donna Pollard, she's a survivor of child marriage, and it's like a healing organization where they have circles and groups and everyone can talk about and help each other heal. So I worked with her for a couple months, and then I went over last summer to Tahrir Justice Center, and they help more with the legal side of it. So women and children seeking asylum in the US, they give them free lawyers, like pro bono lawyer work, to try and go through that whole immigration process. And it's just so, like, learning about the whole immigration process, how complicated it is and how you really need a lawyer. I think the statistics, you can look it up at tahrirjustice.com, I think, but the statistics is like 50, you have like a 50% chance of getting it without a lawyer, a 70% chance of getting asylum with a lawyer, and like 97 with a lawyer from Tahrir. So their work is also incredible and does a lot of amazing work.
Incredible. Yeah. So, what challenges have you faced while running multiple organizations?
I think the biggest one is being survivor centered, or like helping, like focusing on the people you're helping more so than being like a savior type of deal. And I took classes on nonprofit management last springtime, and that was one of our classes was on how to see a need and fill it, but not to overstep and think that you know more than someone who's dealing with a problem. So a lot of that's why it's kind of difficult and also good trying to find organizations to work for, because it's really, now I look at it with a critical eye. So like, for example, I was just interning at Thistle Farms, and they are out of Nashville, and they employ and give housing to women who are overcoming addiction, human trafficking, and prostitution, all that. And they're the workers. They're getting a living wage and they're working. And so it's not people bossing them around telling what to do, but it really is input based. So that's the biggest thing I've had to learn is that I don't have all the answers, that it's not my experience, but I can help any way I can.
Absolutely. That's the first time someone's ever said that and like admitted that like on here. And I agree,
Okay.
like it's really hard. You know, you go and you do these and you think you know everything, but you are continuing to learn. Like
Mm-hmm.
in every way you do. Like I am learning every day running a nonprofit. It is not easy, and it's a
Yeah.
challenge. And who knew that a pandemic would hit us and we'd have to totally scratch everything too. So I get it. So my next question is like, what has running two organizations taught you, like about yourself and about other people?
It's really taught me that I love, as much as I hate like math class, like I love seeing the numbers of like the funds and donations coming in, and knowing that that is like a tangible amount of like a monetary goal, a monetary like amount of support, and even like volunteer hours count towards that. And that seeing how it can be translated into advocacy and to help. And I really liked, so like that, I'm really trying to learn more like spreadsheets at more of like a hard scale type of deal. But just that there's so many opportunities. I've had the great chance to get to talk to all sorts of people in this nonprofit development world, people who do event organizing, people who do corporate partnerships, which I didn't even know was like a real job until, not a real job, but didn't know that was like an option for me, and probably like just all the incredible people around the world. Like maybe you have a hard day, but you go back to work and you're lifted up. I know it's just great to be working with so many inspirational people.
Oh, well, thank you. And same to you. Um, I ask this question to everyone because I think it's important to hear from different perspectives. But what would you tell someone who wants to volunteer for the first time, but doesn't know where to start, doesn't know what to do, but they want to help?
I would say go, like, definitely reach out to lots of places, just send emails. That's why I started at Survivor's Corner, at Tahrir Justice, at Thistle Farms, was sending emails saying, hey, I'm interested. How can I help? These are my skills. And lots of times, like, your skills may be like, if you're a chef or a cook, like you're not needed to like be working in a storefront and selling things, but maybe they have a need for you in the kitchen or wherever. So just reaching out. And I know Hands on Nashville, if you're in the Nashville area, has lots of volunteer opportunities. And even if you reach out to a place and they don't need volunteers right now, I'm sure they have like a big network of other people, other places that you can help. So also probably looking for places that interest you, because you want to be volunteering at a place where like you're excited to go every day. Like everywhere needs volunteers, but what are you going to be passionate about? How are you going to be able to give your most at an organization?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But who inspires you the most?
Probably my mom. She's great. She's one of my best friends. She just has such a big heart, always caring, has taught me so much. And I'm just so grateful for everything that she does. I know you're also close with your mom too. I'm sure you can talk forever and ever like me about how amazing they are, but just, yeah, her giant heart, always loving everyone and taking time to listen to me and my friends and everyone. So it just, that translates into every aspect of my life. And you can definitely see it in like the volunteer nonprofit world, just giving back. So thanks, Mom.
How can our listeners stay in contact with you?
Well, I guess you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm Sidonia Cannon. And then I actually in October deleted all my social media, which has been great. So I guess you could email me at sidoniacannon@gmail.com. That's pretty much it right now.
Well, props to you for doing it. I mean, a lot of people will say they do it, they want to do it all the time, but never do it. So props to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been giving it up every year for Lent for a while, and then I just gave it up entirely, and it's great. But I mean, it's also kind of sad you miss seeing people. Like I don't see your posts or whatnot all the time, but it's, I don't know, I didn't text you. Yeah. So LinkedIn or email, I guess. That sounds so like old and professional.
Well, thank you for coming on today and sharing your dreams and passions for making a difference. I really appreciate it. And you're such an inspiration to many. And I'm so glad that you're a part of the Jungle Dreams family for almost 2 years now. You've been here along for the ride for a while. For anyone who wants to be on our podcast, please visit our social media or website to find the link to sign up. Make sure to follow our social media for further episodes. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sydney. This was great. Thank you, everyone.